Good evening and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru, India. The session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel. I will share the link to our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understand our preferences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. I would now like to welcome Swati, our speaker for today's session. She is working as a customer success manager at Microsoft for more than 8+ years and has worked with multiple enterprise customers to help them realize the business value for Microsoft modern workplace tools. But for now, I will hand over to Swati to begin the session. Over to you.
Thanks, Rashmita, for setting the context for us. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone who's joining on the session today. My name is Swati Arora. I work as a customer success manager in Microsoft Modern Workplace. And with me, I have my colleague also, Pratik Sharma, who is helping us with moderating the Q&A. So please feel free to post your questions on the chat window. So the things that we are going to talk about today is the bunch of DevOps integrations that we already have in Teams, and how do we put together, to implement the engineering processes that we have in place. So just briefing on the agenda. So we'll focus on, really how do we position our better together story. And it's not about just the apps. It's not about just the platform, but it's the teams and the DevOps on Teams today. So, in Teams, as we are all aware that being so many different layers coming out, so many different facets coming together in one place, and it's like chats and channels and meetings, and if you were to run together all these things in one place, I think if you and now making use of all these native features of Teams, we do also have certain applications on the platform, and making use of these applications can actually help the DevOps, how Teams can be that operating layer for you, and when you run the DevOps end to end onto it. And see, the idea here that is to actually go a little beyond just the application and leveraging it as a platform itself. And we'll see that in my coming slides. How do we do that? So we talk about transforming the workplace by getting the collaboration under one place, streamlining all the business processes that you have. We'll get everything under single platform by getting all the applications in pinned or getting inside the Teams, and we'll see that in my talk track ahead. And also, of course, as we are all aware, the Teams comes with the enterprise security and compliance. So definitely the authentication and the SSOs and everything are in place when we bring in any application, any third party, any other application that you're using on the DevOps on Teams. So now coming down to the integrations, and coming down to the platform of the terms of all different apps that we have, and depending on the customer, depending on especially, I think in the ITIS and the unicorn tech space, these applications really resonate well in terms of the number of applications that are available to us, that are already how within Teams they can stay informed and they can stay ahead of the curve when it comes to DevOps. So first thing that comes to everyone's mind is that where do we start? How can I make use of this platform to get my DevOps in place? And we'll see this in coming slides, that how we can actually create Teams as a single hub or a single place where you can run all your DevOps activities. So it really starts with the understanding how they can actually set up their team. And and again and again these conversations depend on maturity of the customer also. So whenever we have all gone ahead and take this, that how you can set up your DevOps workspace in Teams, this is really helpful, because developers ideally spend most of their time on the DevOps tools, for supporting their core task, for supporting their development task, and the ability to perform nearly all the DevOps tasks from within one single platform can actually make their increase in their productivity and performance. And Microsoft Team is actually one chat centered workspace that provides the instant access to everything, and nearly everything, I mean by that, it's a dedicated play hub that brings the teams conversation contents, tools across the Azure DevOps, GitHub, and there are other third party tools like Jira, etc., together into one place. And if you look at my screen here, you can see that sharing the files and resources is available. You can create channels by a specific topic inside of a team. You can host your stand-up calls. And of course, you can make calls also and host your stand-up calls here. You can integrate all your trusted tools without, facing any challenges on the enterprise grade security and compliance. Searching those important chats is again one of the important features, and you can stay ahead or stay top of the conversations that you are having on your DevOps lifecycle. And of course, adding apps to the channel is an important aspect of Teams as a platform where you can add multiple apps into the tabs. And of course, on the fourth one, where you can see you can have a dedicated application pinned on the left trail of the Teams, where you can just, it's a personal scope application where you can actually talk and see and have like all your one-on-one conversations with that particular application, just having your own data pinning here on the left side of the Teams. So when we first spoke about to a new enterprise, we really have to give them the taste of how they can set up the teams, and how we can actually have those dedicated channels where we can have focused discussions. And I'm really not going to delve deeper into this for you, but yeah, so we have placed actually these apps in different channels depending upon what these applications are doing for them and what is their end goal. So if you look at the number of channels that you have, the research will have a specific application like for the spec review. And this has actually resonated well with a lot of couple of customers, because they had used other products as well, where they knew that there are channel and what is the mean of the channel actually there. And they were very actually thrilled to know by the fact that they can actually group these channel within teams, and they can then the entire team can have a purpose to itself. And these different channels mean the location, and becomes easier for everyone to access this information. And as one of the narrative today is collaborative applications on Teams, and Teams is a hub for all these applications, so you can build on specific channels focusing on each of the activity. If you can have a look on my screen, there's a quarterly planning, there's pull requests, there's ship room. So we have applications for all each of the topics available here, and we can set up those channels inside the Teams as well. So I'm just going to play this a 2-minute video to show how the DevOps team can utilize their first and the third party applications directly in Microsoft Teams, and one place to chat, discuss, and update the systems outside of the Teams. The Chatups, and you can get more information of it on this video. Just give me a second. I'm just going to play this video for you.
Oh, hey, Dan, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Graham, it's good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. You must have seen all my meeting in Teams for 2-minute Tuesdays. I was just having a think about what I should do this week.
Yeah, that's right. I was just burning in the midnight oil, just like you, and I saw that you were having a meeting in this channel. So by working out loud, I was able just to drop in and see what was going on, which is quite cool. But one thing I want to talk to you about is some work I've been doing with customers that might be relevant for your 2-minute Tuesday series.
Sure, yeah. What was your idea?
So I've been talking to my customers about Chatups. Have you heard about that phrase before?
A bit like DevOps and things like that, right?
That's right, yeah, kind of the evolution of that. So I'm just going to share my screen with you here. Let me know when you can see that. Does that come straight through?
Sure.
Cool, yeah, it's super fast now in Teams. So I've set up this team here, and I've put together some channels in here to help with the announcements that you might be making during a project. And instead of you having to dig through all your different project channels, we're able just to kind of have an announcement channel. So stakeholders and sponsors can just see what's happening and keep up to date with stuff, which is quite useful. And the idea behind this whole Chatups movement is to allow bring this stuff together into one place. So you've got the developers that want to use their favorite dev tools, and you've got the project managers that need to try and manage that. And it's quite a challenge.
Yeah.
But with stuff like Teams, we can bring in these tools straight into team channels and have conversations around what's going on.
Okay, so third-party or first-party applications like Visual Studio, I guess, we can put directly into the conversation within Teams.
Pretty awesome, hey?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Let me show you some even cooler stuff. So it's not just these connectors that are pinging stuff in here. I can actually use some of the action buttons on this connector here to do things.
Okay.
So I can click on comment, and I can actually comment straight back on this update from Visual Studios without having to leave Teams. So it really becomes that place for teamwork.
Yeah, definitely one place for everything, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got it. So it's not just connectors though that we have in Teams. I can actually use tabs. You might have seen these with other things that we have in Teams.
Lots of different tabs in, right? From kind of, yeah, that's it, right? Everything that's kind of Microsoft centric, and then everything kind of third-party stuff. There's a whole list there.
Got it. Yeah, all this good stuff. And then you've even got the power to bring in websites in here. So if you want to bring in third-party apps, as long as there's an HTTPS link to it, then you can even pin that as a tab too. And I'm going to just show you a little bit about that later on. But what's really cool about this VSTS one here is you can see I can have my full VSTS backlog shown to me. And I can even drag things around here without having to leave. So I get the full experience as if I'm looking at it in the browser.
Yeah.
And that's going to update my conversation with this status change, which is pretty cool, right? Now, if I want to also dig into things a little bit deeper, because I might have some questions to ask about certain things on my backlog here. Again, you guessed it, I don't have to leave Teams. I can just open a conversation here, and that's now going to let me use what we call the compose extension. I'm just going to shuffle you up to the top left here. If you just hang on, there you go. And you can see that I can use that compose extension by just mentioning VSTS.
Yep.
And then I can call things that are on the backlog straight from here. And this is what I've done earlier on. So I know Lee's working on this item here, so I can call it in here, tag Lee in the message, and then he can reply back and we can have a conversation around this specific item. So it allows me to have that bird's eye view and then drill down into specific things that I need to get answers for.
Okay, so that's what you could see on how the Azure DevOps look like, and how you can actually get that backlog into Teams. So very quickly moving on to the next part of the session today, which is you can set all the alerts and monitor your pull request. You can get whether, how do you do that actually? So there are multiple products that's been used across different industries. It can be GitHub, it can be Bitbucket. So basis on, whatever you are using or any other code repositories that you're planning to use, you can get those, you can pin that repositories inside Teams and, just stay informed on the code whenever there's a push, whenever there's a merge attempt. So there are the multiple commands that you see here on my screen on the right side. And very interestingly, these commands are actually, there's a bot which is already available on Teams, and you can just, get this list of the commands, and it is very easy to, process all the information when a GitHub application is pinned inside the Teams platform here. Okay, so there are multiple ways of getting an agile boards. One you have seen just before for the Azure DevOps. The other one that I'm talking here is on the Jira dashboard. So there are multiple work items that you need to monitor every day. So of course Jira can be again one of the important part here, where you are pinning the application here, and just it becomes very easy for the people who are part of the planning phase, or who are monitoring continuously, their developers in the ecosystem, their testers, their product managers, their program managers who are just monitoring the Jira application. So definitely just staying on top of the work items can actually make a lot of difference for them. CI/CD, again, I would say it's just not the example here, the Azure pipelines. We have Jenkins, we have multiple CI/CD tools available. So just getting this real-time notifications, staying on the top of the build that you have can actually make a lot of difference in the day-to-day work for the developers and also for the testers, of course. So yeah, just to monitor the activities, you can we have created a separate channel here in the Teams, and of course we are getting those real-time notifications on the channels. And if you can look at the replies, there's a threaded conversation. It's very easy to stay on top of it. This is also available on mobile. So it's a lot of activities you can take from the mobile. So So very quickly, you can actually get this applications inside Teams. So on the feature announcements, okay, so in this particular part, we have created a separate channel for feature announcements, and but it is very important to make the understand that if they are not ahead on the team stability curve, then there's no use of getting these teams and channels, and as we mark these channels dedicatedly for a different style and focused conversation. So I'm going to give you here, I'm giving just few examples. If you want to run DevOps and have something for feature announcements, then definitely this is the place to go. Talking about, so these are just a few examples I'm trying to flash here. Bug detection, so that there's a channel for bug detection where it acts as a repository for all the bugs that can be curated, and if someone wants to have a look at the bugs, they can just go simply and refer to the channel. So specific, of course, channel for a spec review, separate channels again for all the GitHub notifications also. So basically, when you go and present this to some person in your organization, the concept of structuring the teams really works well with them, and it's kind of giving them a new perspective how they can revamp their processes as well. Okay, so second layer, which we'll talk about today, is before even we jump into the apps, it is very important to understand the operations, literally the ops side of the DevOps I'm talking here now. So this is something which is extremely useful, but almost overlooked. This is where the teams is running as an operating layer. It's like next layer, we are running scrums here, and if we are running the scrums in and the collaboration becomes very important, because there are different groups. The discoverability of information also really gets hampered, because when the scrum comes up, it's a 15 or a 20-minute scrum that generally, or maybe even it can be in a half an hour scrum. So you can just simply get a channel meeting here, host a scrum, and simply they can come and anyone can join the meeting, and people can see that the meeting is in progress, and anyone can of course chime in into the meeting, and getting running these scrums, and of course adding your DevOps as tab here. And of course today we are pushing the envelope a little ahead. Here's an example of someone adding the DevOps boards into the channel, and just to track all the items here. This is actually showcasing that someone is sharing the screen in the DSM, but today, as we have more advancements coming up in Teams as meeting extensibility, so you don't have to switch to another. So I would say that this experience has worked really on by the Teams engineering. So again, these are few examples that where we are pinning the Azure DevOps here, and this is the place where you can see the entire backlog. You've seen this in my video as well. So this is just an example or flashing of the project backlog that we have. So okay, so I know I mentioned GitHub earlier as well, so I'm just going to quickly flash few examples of the apps on the screen here, and what these apps can actually make can do and make a lot of difference for you. So if you have any specific question about these applications or any specific scenarios that you have dealt with customers or anyone in the organization, please let us know, or you can leave it on the chat, or just in the interest of time, and I'm pushing through this, but we could definitely have a more dedicated conversation on how to position or these applications, or if you have any doubts, of course, on these. But just flashing a few applications here, starting with GitHub here. We have already discussed this earlier, but configuring your repositories, pipelines, pull requests, everything, as per the team's demand, can actually get and collaborated inside Teams. So these are few just examples of it. Bitbucket, again, it works similar to GitHub as well. I mean, just monitoring your repositories. So if you're using this tool for that, so we do have a connector available in the Teams App Store, and you can definitely get Bitbucket integrated just to manage all your data and issues inside it. These are just those examples. Okay, so Jira again. I'm going to use this Jira Cloud as one of other applications again. Filtering your task, any issues you want to plan on your items, or just want to stay, organized within teams. So these simple bot commands, like find, create issues, task, bugs, etc., can be easily founded inside the teams, and you can just play around with it. And since these applications are already available on cloud, okay, so these are just plug in and play experience. Simply if you have the credentials, if you have the licenses for Jira, you can just simply go and look out in the Teams App Store and pull up that application there, and just simply start playing with it. And it's like something which is these are ready to be app in the app packages, and these are just a plug and play experience if you already have it in your App Store. So if you're if you're using some of these applications, they're already available inside, so you can just simply set up inside the channels, or even you can use it on the one-on-one experience basis as well. Okay, so Jenkins, again, this is again one of the examples here where you can just use this to customize your build activities if you're working on it and staying ahead on the top of the notifications. Okay, so again, I have another video which shows the Azure Chatups and how to manage the Azure boards on team. I'm just going to quickly
from for boards, I can actually go and trigger this bot. It gives me the details of all that is possible. Like I said, subscriptions, adding an area path, linking a project, and you can go ahead and create a work item directly from here. Right. So it'll tell you what you want to create, whether it's bug or feature or task, and then all the required fields actually show up, and you can do it right from here. You don't have to jump back to boards. Right. The feature I love the best here is actually taking a discussion. So we're talking about something here, and then creating a work item right from here. What that does is actually it goes ahead and creates a work item, and I've done that. It's created this work item. I select it as a task, and then actually even creates a link in Microsoft Teams. So puts it here in the discussion.
Okay, so yeah, it just shows that how you can manage your Azure Chatups, how you can manage the Azure boards where you are creating a work item, just pushing that in the Teams channel conversation, and then you can also see Teams link on the Azure DevOps. If you go and open the work item, that is also going to be deep linked there, and if you click on it, that is going to take you directly to the Teams inside the Teams where you have posted that conversation. To move ahead. So this is again a part. I've just kind of taken one of the examples of Jira Cloud here, where he's just trying to showcase that how any bug or anything any item that you're working inside Jira, how you can make use of the Teams ecosystem. Where you can just pull in that Jira application, fill in the information, create the issue, etc., and that is also going to be possible to actually view that information when you are together in a meeting. So this is a meeting extensibility feature where you can see that all these items can be posted here. You can just stay top of it. So this is available on both sides, on the Teams or in the channel conversations, or in the personal scope application, or even in the Teams meeting as well. Okay, so this is where actually the innovation starts. This is where the customers come and they really start to capitalize the Teams. Is when they start building their own workflows. Till now we've just talked about these applications, how do you do these applications, like simply integrating and plug in and play these applications inside Teams. But now this part is actually how we are customizing the workflows, how we can start building our own workflows for this. Let's have a quick look on this. Simply, okay, simple example being connectors, where within each channel you have a connector available, and you can get the specific URL you need, so that from an external system you will be able to pull in the information regularly through an incoming webhook. As a quick example, it has been created that being shown within that particular channel to notify everybody together, and of course you need to start replying to it if you are discussing about any particular notification that comes inside the channel. So you can just simply go and set up a name of that webhook and just pick up that URL. I'm going to show this example. So this is where you can copy the URL and post it directly to any external web services that you are trying to work on. And of course, if you start replying to it, you're kind of discussing about that particular notification that's coming inside into that channel. So this is how this is going to look like. Developers can actually make use of the simple API call to post any messages or card to the channel. And these cards, if you can look at my screen here, these cards have all carry all the basic information that you're getting from the notifications that you're trying to get inside the Teams. Okay, so for those who don't know about what is Flow, this particular example actually talks about the Microsoft Flow, where within the like there are a lot of workloads inside Office 365. Microsoft Flow is again one of them. This is just I wanted to show you an example. This is one where we are using the Flow to share like a summary or like a telemetry to keep the entire team informed on how we are performing as a team. So yeah, this is like an amazing example where you can which shows that how you can automate the workflows and the items that you have available inside your DevOps system. Okay, so we have okay, this is my favorite one. This is we have one of my favorite apps, we call it Bugoo. So far we have been discussing about the app that can notify inside a team automatically. Basically, this one is a user initiated nag, where the manager actually tries to nudge the app to say, okay Bagu, can you go and like find out like everybody who is something pending against their name. And if it says that if, they have not fixed it, like all these bugs, and they have not fixed it. And in fact, if you see at the bottom, it actually says you're going to be put in the bug jail if you don't act it now. So I think it's also a little bit of keeping it fun and interactive, but it's an interesting way, of course, which we still have the manager with some automated flows where they're able to nudge the app, and then the app does the rest of the job. And so whenever the manager needs information, we're able to use that app and quickly like fetch the information. So this particular channel of where you see an ICM severity bugs, they can just make use of this channel to stay ahead or stay on top of all the user initiated tags. Okay, so quickly, walking you through the Azure DevOps Visual Studio connector. So that's basically pulling up all the requests of all the pull requests. And of course, the team here is having a discussion about it. And you can see that the message sent to a channel when there's a PR file, sorry, with those details. So team is just having this threaded conversation here. They can, on a particular PR, they can just simply have a threaded conversation with whoever is involved on that particular PR. So it makes a very, teams actually gets all these into one single place and makes it a very interesting way of getting all these notifications, etc. inside teams here. Okay, so release blocker, and there is another custom app that the engineering team has built. So it actually provides an information about the specific blockers, and you can see that. So we can build capabilities where it is not pulling the information, but it is actually tags the relevant people, so that it's not a random notification, because people subscribe to a different types of notification. So it makes it a little bit more granular and a little bit more specific in terms of what the customer wants and how they want the people to be tagged. But it is also possible, so if you see at this particular example is again Drano, which is again a bot here. So messages sent to the channel when there is a release blocker, and it is going to tag. And It is also including all the follow-ups, etc. So this is just like one of the reason, where we are making use of the bots in an automatic workflow, where he's just kind of bringing up all the ring blockers, all the platform blockers, etc., which are even mitigating across any kind of release builds that the engineering team is working on. Okay, so incident management, I think this is really a cool one, where apart from fetching the information, it also continuously gives you the update. So if you have kind of missed out, there's a very first one, you can just quickly get a summary of what's happened, and you can just like grab the latest information, the latest status of that particular incident. And if it's like mitigated or sorted, then it's not something that you have to worry about. But just kind of posting all the incident reported based on the severity, alerts, sources, instructions, etc. And of course, on the bottom you see on my screen that this is just bringing the live status and updates across the incident that we have. Okay, so 3 benefits that I would like to highlight, about these bots that we have. First one here is the time to engage and sample notify. It's just a synchronicity of what's happening, and any sort of additional information. The OBI, basically our flagship one that's we share all the time, like this point that Microsoft uses, a really good example of sorting sort of adaptive card that you see over here, and the relevant information that we can person. So here's an example where the app are showing severity to incident. It's also tagging relevant people, and we need to be looking into it. So people are discussing something or the other on the conversation and within the same thread, and the OBI is also part of the thread again. So it's not just us talking to the bots, it's the bots also talking to us. So, and us talking amongst ourselves. So this is the future. Okay, so we have kind of involved in the bot inside those threaded conversation. People are talking to each other, and bot is also talking to people. So yeah, it's in one of the really coolest example that we have. So to just move ahead. So this is again the same, the example of adaptive card, where you see that how the Azure and teams have actually come together and partner and developed this live site bot and revolutionize actually all the incident management. That is the way it is being done here. And of course, within the card, that it is available to share the information depending on how, and this can be obviously completely customized. So, and when we share this with customers, are that when we are able to ask, and can you show how we do it differently. So instead of showing these to people, can we show something else, or we can have like some other information, or like some quick links. So yeah, I mean, sure, every team does it differently. So they have their own processes, they have their own way of customizing, and the customizations can be endless actually here. That's the possibility inside the teams, and to be able to carry out these. So we would like to welcome you all. So if in case in any case of customization you want to bring into us, we can definitely take that up if you're looking for any kind of such kind of customizations onto teams. Okay, so so these are the automated summarization of incidents for on call. So I would say just adding a few other really cool examples there, which actually solve the business problems, like the handoffs. When and there is any summarization of incident can be done here, how it is able to hand it off to the next person who is going to coming on to the call, because they always have to go back somewhere else and to find all the information through the entire summary. So this is just an interesting way of getting the handoffs done when the shift is over, and understand what's going on, or nudging someone else like, hey, this person like just simply nudging, and could you tell me what's happening? Like in this case, it is giving an automated summary, which is a really cool way of doing it, informing who was on the call and if you want to reach out to somebody. So it's just a classic example to please clean up your all the DevOps items here, if you can see on my right screen. So this is just from the hygiene perspective, where you meant to sort of create a sense of discipline, but he's just being or hygiene here. These are simply the hygiene alerts that we are able to automate. Some of them very, very simple business process. It's actually a fantastic way of also, how teams can be leveraged, or just these critical things, but very simple, unique, simple day-to-day tasks. So we have kind of plug and play one applications, and you can just simply ready to use these apps. So we have a low code, no code thing available, which I have discussed earlier, which is called as Flow or Power Automate, and simply Power Apps to keep teams informed. And of course, beyond what we offer, if any organization has some extremely customizing needs, like so they have a specific application that they use, or they want they be linked to a specific tool, or if you have an integration with a specific one, you can definitely reach out to us on the chat, and now we can help you to build out those integrations, so that is available on the App Store, or just just the one customer is interested to build for everybody use. So it's a very in-house tool that's very specific to our requirement that we have kind of showing. But if you have any specific custom integration you want to enable them to run on the jobs or tips, we would love to hear that. I'm going to just cover to the last slide. Okay, so these are the resources that you can have a look onto. You can learn about the bots, connectors, cards, etc. on these links. Rashmita has already placed the learn module link, which has a lot more details about the sessions also, and you can just simply go and refer. And these app templates, you can just simply go to https://app templates, where you can find a lot of Scrum bots and all those applications related to DevOps on the app templates platform. Yeah, that's it from my side. Rashmita, back to you.
Sure. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask to Swati. Okay. Uh, in chat box, somebody, I think. Okay, Swati, can you please share those links? Yeah,
I'll share those links on the chat box. Sure.
sure. So while we are waiting for some more time, please feel free to share your feedback about today's session. Also, use the Learn module link shared in the chat section. This will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. Also, please visit our Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru meetup page for more upcoming sessions. Yes, this session is being recorded and it would be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel. I have already shared the link to our YouTube channel. It will take maybe like 24 to 48 hours for the team to upload the session.
Swati, one quick question from the audience here,
Sure.
from Giri Pawan. How is the summarization? Okay, I lost the. Yeah, how's the summarization done for on-call handoff during a flow?
Okay, so as Giripavan, I mentioned this earlier in when I was just giving or showing the automation of the summarization and incidents handoff. So in this typical example that I was showing you on my screen was basically on the flow where we are getting the total ICMs by severity of the last 7 days, or the total active ICMs that we have. But the way the way we did this is with the help of the Microsoft Flow, or the Power Automate also we call it. So this is a bot which is available, and it's just giving the integration or the notifications to us of the any kind of handoffs that we are having. So how do we do that is basically I can give you like a quick link to this, and probably if you have any services where you kind of collate these summarizations, we can just Flow or Power Automate. It's a low code no code solution which can actually help you to get those the summaries, or the if you're collating it anywhere, it can just kind of post that into the Teams. And if it is not like that, if you're not collating it anywhere, probably what you can do is just simply ask the flow to you have to fill in some information to him, or to the flow bot, and it can be anything. It can even be an Excel sheet for that matter, and the bot is going to just post that that data onto your Teams channel. I hope that answers. I know it's a little tricky one, but I'm going to paste this example on the chat for you so that you can have a look onto it.
Yeah, got it. I have a knowledge on flows. Yeah, got it.
Okay, perfect. I think Pratik has already done that for you. So yeah. Any more questions, Pratik, that you want me to take up?
Awesome. Rest of the questions I've pasted the links.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We'll just give it another minute in case, we have any last minute questions. Okay, then we'll wrap up for today. Thank you, Swati, and thank you, Pratik, so much for hosting the session. And thank you all for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.